Happy New Year, Virgo. Welcome to your first forecast of the year. This is January 2017. And in addition to doing an extended forecast, I'm also going to take a look at 2017 as well, pulling four cards for the 4 quarters of the year. So we'll get into that in the latter part of the video. But let's begin, as we always do, with the channeled information. As I was thinking about your sign, the one clear thing that came through is that preparation will be very, very key for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cards and see in which ways you're going to need to be more prepared or ready, and hopefully all of that will come into focus. So let's go ahead and shuffle the deck. One more time and we're good to go. There we go. So the preparation right off the bat looks like 2 areas. One is in feeling like you're grounded in making a decision, and the other one is money. But let me just pull through all of the cards here. And let's also look at your catalyst card, and that's going to help as well. Okay, so your catalyst card is about transformation, intuition, and patience. The interesting thing with this is it's a very delicate version of what could also be a death card, but it's a beautiful death card because a swan is the sort of after effect of the transformation. So what I like about this is that if I pulled the death card at the center, it would have had a much different connotation. With this being your catalyst card, it's telling me much of the change has already started to happen for you. Your challenge is going to be to follow through on it and to embrace it, because I was talking for another video, another sign, I really feel like January is going to be a month of ebbs and flows of energy. For you, there is a sense of patience and a need to sort of let things happen. So I feel like a very similar message is coming through for you, to embrace the transformation that's already started for many of you. And for those of you that have been holding off a little bit, this transformation reads to me much more like opportunity than loss. So I'm really happy to see that. You know, I can never guarantee which cards are going to come through, but that's a very promising first card. So as we look at your entire spread this month, we'll get a little bit more clarity. Your center card is a card of manifestation. And again, if you've already started that change process, whether it's a new relationship, a new job, or letting go of something, the Magician card is saying now it's your time to celebrate, to begin to use your energy and your time that you may have been spending on something else and create, okay? The toughest thing for many of you, though, is going to be to decide how to focus your energy. Or there might be questions of uncertainty as to whether something's worth the risk, or wondering, you know, what people are thinking, or, you know, have you made the right decision? And that's where this catalyst card, the channeled information rather, is coming through. So the more you prepare, the more research you do, the easier this is going to be to sit with your decision. Now, when we take away this sort of transformative event or this opportunity that might have happened at the beginning of the month, let's look at everything else. And it looks pretty bright, actually, for you. Let's first sort of look at what's affecting where you're at right now. It looks like many of you have started to pay down some bills or come to terms with debts that need to be either forgiven or somehow paid off or remedied. So getting more in control of your finances looks like something you started in 2016. You're going to finish in 2017. And January could be one of the tougher months in sort of making those changes. So if you're willing to do that, however, I see a lot of great growth and development. And when you finally sort of see things being easy again, it's going to be towards the end of the year, but it's going to be very, very positive. This is probably around September or October. But by that time, whatever it is you've been trying to push through financially is going to be much, much easier for you to manage. Many of you, this could have to do with either taking care of children, or you could be a child taking care of a parent. But what I'm seeing is a dependency on your financial situation. For those of you that are single, it's actually about taking care of yourself in the future. So you may not have been doing as much as you could have in 2016 to plan for unexpected health issues or retirement, or even if you wanted to travel and do some other things in your life. What I'm seeing here is a focus right now on bringing that nest egg basically into existence, or getting it in a lot healthier position. I also am seeing a focus around the middle of the month in relationships. So some of you may be in a very challenging relationship that has sometimes the people we know the best, whether it's a sister or a best friend or a lover, they can push our buttons because as we get older, we sometimes present a single version of ourselves to other people. It might be a more mature version. It might be someone who's in more control. And when you know someone from the past, it's sort of like they know everything, all the secrets, all the weak spots. And what you want to try to avoid with these people during the course of January, particularly the middle of the month, is letting them get the better of you. Because the truth is, you actually know the same thing about them, and you understand that some of this stuff can be systematic of the past. So for those of you that don't feel that tension, what this also can indicate is it's reverse. So normally when I see it upright, I see someone coming from the past or meeting a friend that has like a new relationship where you have a very close kinship. With this, I actually see there could be a potential for healing something from the past, okay? So it could be someone that you haven't seen for 15 years or for 5 years or even for a few months at the very least, and they're coming back in your life not to bother you and not because you need to do, you need to kind of go into a whole new level on your relationship. It's more so you can acknowledge something that went wrong in the past, maybe say I'm sorry, or maybe just see them and remember what it is that you're trying to change about your life. So, maybe it's someone that you used to hang around with, and maybe they were caught up in something that didn't serve them in their life. So maybe it was an addictive quality or an addiction, and you see what it's done to them. And just that brief encounter reminds you how you set yourself on the right path, or maybe you never made any difficult decisions there, but you can just have gratitude that you didn't have to have some of those difficult life lessons that they did. So again, just to sort of review that, we have a lot of money situations towards the beginning of the month, and then some relationship things that need to be healed on some levels. What all of this is going to allow you to do is ultimately be a lot more powerful and confident in your power. And that's the one thing that I see you needing to lift a little bit on in January, is this uncertainty and any sort of patterns here from the past. Once you sift through all of that stuff, I see a really positive energy setting in for the beginning of the year. Relationships, possibly a new relationship coming in, a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces could be entering your personal life. Also, this is in your ego position, so this also means you're going to be feeling much more emotionally stable. So even if you have some uncertainty, I feel like your mood is generally pretty good towards the second, third, and fourth weeks of the month. And in fact, one of the things you might need to be careful of is trying to exercise moderation, because this card is usually not a card, it's a card of extremes, it's not a card of moderation. So make sure that when it comes to celebrations, you don't overdo it. When it comes to sleep, you're getting enough of it. And if you're having a really good day, just remember to bring things in a little bit, because you're going to either not want to brag a lot for someone else, or you don't want to, again, party so hard that by the time you're done, you kind of throw yourself off track. So the good news here is that whatever difficulties you have towards the beginning of the month, it eases around the middle, and towards the end, there's actually a lot to celebrate about, it looks like. I see new love coming for you, or a deepening of a relationship towards the very last week of the month, possibly even the last day of the month. And this, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes sort of unexpectedly or through a work relationship. Whenever I see a Wheel of Fortune attached to a love situation, it's about possibly meeting someone at a work party, a work function. And for those of you that are married, what this means is you may need to spend a little bit more time and energy supporting your spouse, because the Wheel of Fortune is a card of resources and it's a card of spending. And when we see that you seem to have a little bit more to give this month, someone in your life may need a little bit more from you, and it looks like this is something that's going to be okay. So I encourage you to go ahead and do that if it feels good. And even if it doesn't, you might have to step outside of your comfort zone. So let's go ahead and expand this and take a look now at health, wealth, love, and destiny. And then we'll delve into 2017. I got to get used to saying the year. But we'll look at 2017 and see what other exciting things, opportunities, and also challenges are going to come through for you. But first, health. Your health card for January is detox. And I'll read the card, but that's pretty self-explanatory. This really is just, there's nothing surprising here. But I will say this, with detoxification, this can also be clearing space and clearing belongings from your life as well, and relationships. But this one really is talking about chemicals as well. So if you're living a pretty clean life, for instance, maybe you eat organic food, you don't really drink, you don't smoke, this can have to do with other habits in your life. So it could be, again, staying up too late, or, watching TV as you go to bed. There's other ways you can detox, like removing some of these elements from your life. So look beyond just what you're putting in your body and look at your habits. And also look at your attitudes, like how you're feeling, how you're thinking, and if the thought process brings you to a place that doesn't feel healthy, that's something you can detox from as well. So let me take a drink of tea here really quickly, and then we're going to look at your wealth opportunities. All right. Remembering, of course, wealth includes all types of opportunities. So this could be a growth opportunity too that's going to help you in the long run with career or finance. So we have a beautiful goddess card which says express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. So what does that mean? In particular, when it comes to work, this is about not necessarily having to be the leader in a group, but being a nurturing or supportive force. It also means making sure that in your life, you're doing things that nurture yourself. Because to me, whenever I see an Empress card or a Goddess card, it's a card of power, but the subtlety is in there. That where you see Emperor, it's more about like taking control, asserting yourself, making sure that people know that you're in charge. The Goddess card is basically letting everybody sort of grow and win and be in a good place. So with work, teamwork is going to be your key to success. And particularly if someone is falling behind on your team, whether this is maybe you're as a student or you're in a job, or if you're not working, it's your family. So what you want to try to focus on is how can I support everyone so that they're successful? Because as a team we succeed, and as a team we all look good together. And for those of you that are, CEOs or bosses or managers, the more successful your team, the more successful you are, and the more talented they are, the better you look, because you're cultivating and allowing for good talent to be on your team. All right, so now let's take a look at love, because we see a lot of love coming through here. With the King of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Ace of Cups, you're in a pretty good place. You are safe. So this has a couple meanings. First of all, if you're in a relationship and you're wondering, is this person the right one for me? Or, is this an okay time to start dating or seeing new people? This card says it's safe to try. Of course, you trust your own intuition first and foremost, but it's also saying that it's okay for you right now. Now let's take a look at your Destiny card, and Destiny for the month of January, because we're going to look much deeper in a moment at 2017. I'll get it eventually here. All right, so for the Destiny card this month, we have optimism and aggression. It's the Fire Prince, and these are sort of two, I would say, sometimes opposing forces, or they can be. And when I look at this, I almost see the Two of Pentacles here. So you're going to need to balance these. They're not necessarily opposing, but I would say with optimism, I wouldn't typically tag on aggression to that. I want to say that you're going to have chances to express both of these elements of your personality, And what you want to try to do is look for the best in things. We were talking about team opportunities or group opportunities, but it may be necessary occasionally for you to sometimes push other people to do what they're not comfortable doing. You could use that as an encouragement, though. Say, no, I think you can do this. I'm here to support you. Go for it. It can also mean in your life, though, that there may be an opportunity that requires you to push a little bit more than you're comfortable. And again, the cool thing with having that goddess card in your success zone means that you'll be able to do it in a way that doesn't overreach or basically seem too pushy. So it's a subtle or slow sell of whatever it is that you need to get out there. All right, let's go ahead and bring all of these cards together into one cohesive review, and then we're going to look at 2017. All right, again, central card, very, very positive. Manifestation card, the Magician. Also really good for relationships, showing that you have a magnetic quality and that you're in a place right now where people are seeing you as someone who is capable of, doing good things, and there's a lot of growth in this card. The flip side of this is that you may not be aware of your own power and potential, so I want you to try to work through that. Continue to work hard when it comes to finances. It looks like January could provide some challenges, especially when it comes to health and also your bills or your budget. So I want you to sharpen your pencil, make sure that you're okay. Not too soon to start to work on your taxes. You might want to get an early start on that to avoid any audit flags, etc. I see you getting in a really good zone and trajectory by about October of this year. I know that's a long way to look out, but if you keep up this work, by the end of the year, you're going to be in a really good place. Remember to try to avoid people that can push your buttons, and also remember that there just may be a healing opportunity. Someone may come in passing, or you may see something on Facebook or on TV that reminds you of something, and even the thought in and of itself is going to be the moment of healing. You can let go, you can forgive, or you can express gratitude. There may be a positive water sign coming in your life, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. It does look like a favorable union or relationship. I also see either that love deepening or a new relationship coming towards the end of the month. And remember, these relationships sometimes can just be friendships or a partnership opportunity. This one looks like it's a little bit muddied because we have a love card combined with a money card. So there may just be a great opportunity for business relationship or a work liaison that is going to help you get further in your career. So you'll have to keep your eyes and ears open on that. A reminder that throughout this month, preparation is key, and that we have this beautiful card that symbolizes to me the after effect of transformation, or it's like a positive death card, which means once you've let go of something, great new things can come through. Basically, your life can become like the swan. The hidden beauty, the hidden nuances are going to be visible for everyone to see. Take every opportunity you can to detox, both in attitude, in health, in living situation, everything you can to sort of clear, clean, and brighten your life. I would try to do that. It's going to help your health, and that's your mind, body, and spirit. When we look at your wealth, we have this goddess card, which is saying leadership and group energy, but it's going to be a much subtle sort of leadership that you're doing. This is one where, like a mother, like a universal mother, you can be strong, you can be in charge, but you're also someone who's loving and nurturing. And this is for men and women, because one thing that's lacking in Western society is men that are comfortable being nurturing. So that's one thing for all men, actually. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. So be willing to open up to that. When we look at relationships, I think this card's spot on because there's so many wonderful, beautiful cups cards that came through for you. It's a good time to, experience and experiment with new relationships. Just make sure that you're working through the pain or the karmic sort of lessons from the past. Finally, you're going to have challenges this month and opportunities that are going to bring out two, I would say, not perfectly symbiotic forces here, optimism and aggression. So I would say reach for the optimism more, but there may be a way to, instead of being aggressive, basically lead or model the behavior that you're trying to get from others. And again, use that goddess energy that came through on the other card. It's going to be a lot more effective than being too pushy. So overall, a really good month, very strong in relationships, very challenging when it comes to money, but you can break through that money cycle. It's not going to happen overnight. And also, if it's not money, then it could possibly be work and where you're going with work. So your work situation will improve by the end of the year as well. But October is when I see an opening. All right, so let's clear all of these cards, and I'll give the tarot deck a very good shuffle, and we're going to take a look at 2017. Took me about 3 times, but I remembered the year. All right. So let's give this a nice shuffle. One card for each quarter, and I'll go over that in a second. So far, so good. Let's pull one card for your karmic lessons, which is both the blessings and the baggage for 2017, but coming from the past, this life and in others, of course. And I was drawn to a different deck here, so give me 1 second to go for this one. This is going to be your opportunity, your lesson that you could be learning here in 2017. Perfect. Okay, so when we're looking at January through March, January, February, March, this is really perfectly aligned with the preparation card. So the Two of Wands is all about looking to the future, dreaming about the future, and starting to put some of the seeds in the ground to make it happen. But it is going to require a lot more forward leaning vision, a lot of patience, and eventually things will start to grow. Notice that these wands are yielding growth. So it is a very fortuitous and very good card, but it's really not going to, you're not going to see the fruition from this until April. And that perfectly aligns with this. April, May, and June, really great months for you. The money and work that challenges that we were seeing in January, you might see some early shifts and some early return on your hard work if you choose to start, really putting a lot of energy into fixing things. The other thing with this is it's a very good time for renovating a house or a workplace, and it's also a really good time to start a new routine. King of Pentacles is someone who can manage things, who can, almost has the Midas touch. Basically everything you touch turns to gold and works. So your most productive months of the year are April, May, and June. When we look at July, August, and September, this is a time for you to use that masculine energy. So if January and the beginning of the year, like January, February, March, it's more about the divine goddess, then as we get into July, August, and September, it's about the more masculine energy coming through. This is the time to be a little bit more pushy. This is the time to make sure that nothing in your life is given to someone else unnecessarily. So when I say that, let me be very specific. If you own a business, if you are, if you're just in a relationship, and a new relationship, and you're handing off a lot of stuff to the other person, this card says no. You should be involved in all aspects of things. So you want to be a more active participant in your personal life, in your professional life, in your health, and in your mental health as well. So I want you to be very proactive, very active. This is a time for you to, you can't pass blame or really delegate too much. So very active sort of third quarter of the year. And then as we're looking at the last 3 months, October, November, and December, this is when a few things could happen for you. One, travel may be something that you're going to be focusing on much more. And then you may also have some time and energy juggling to do. So you may be working so hard that you're letting your health go a little bit, or you're not seeing your family as much, or your personal life is taking a hit. So be very careful with travel and time management towards the end of the year. Your karmic situation for the year is trying not to be too fragmented. The puzzle card, two things with this one as well. One is the fragmentation and feeling like, oh my God, I'm here, you need to sort of integrate. This is the second part. If sometimes it's necessary to multitask and sort of wear all these different hats, but the other piece of this puzzle is you could be holding back on a part of yourself that maybe you haven't shared with other people. It could be a beautiful part. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe maybe there's a hidden talent or sort of desire or hobby, and you want to sort of share that with other people. It could also be something that you're not comfortable talking about, and this is about working towards how you're going to integrate it. Sometimes there's family secrets. Sometimes it's a literal coming out. Other times it's just about no longer feeling like you have to be one person to, people at work and another person to people at home. It's coming closer and integrating and being more yourself, because it's easier to not have to pretend. It's easier to just be you. When we look at your big opportunity, it's interesting, and I didn't read these before I read the four quarters of the year, but it says clearing house. And we mentioned detoxification for mind, body, and spirit. This one is really saying you need to take a look at your surroundings and the objects around you. So like you could be holding a mug that somebody gave you and not knowing that they're actually connected to that. The memory, it's not like there's magical power in it. It could just be the memory. You see it, it triggers a memory. Is that memory positive or negative? If it's negative, think about giving that mug away, or throwing it away, or recycling it, or doing something new with it. Go through your house and look at everything and think about what the energetic attachment is to it. Is it because of guilt that you're keeping something? Someone threatened to haunt you if you didn't keep it. Or is it because you miss someone and you're keeping it to have a connection to them? There's no wrong or right, but sort of gauge your feeling when you pick up each object and think, is this serving me or is this holding me back? If you can each month look at one item and release it, you're going to feel like your whole space takes on a new energy. You can also replace it, but replace it with something loving and something light and something that brings an energy that was missing in your life. So there's a lot of power in environmental energy. The thought energy is the most powerful, but I am empathic and I do feel things, and I do believe that objects hold a charge. So you can also clean them if you really want to keep it. Some things you can put out in the sun. You can also use smudging techniques. I may talk about that in a future video. As I mentioned, this year I'm going to try to do more development and instructional videos. So one thing I can talk about is how to smudge and how to remove energy from objects. So there you go. Not a bad year overall. I'll pull the camera down one more time, but starting off with a lot of planning and potential energy, seeing a return on that when we're looking around April through June. As we go to July through September, it's a time when you really want to be in control and active in your life. Towards the last part of the year, from October until December, there's going to be some travel and some challenges with your resources, but there's nothing really negative over the whole year. There's a lot of growth potential. And what we didn't see here, and what we did see in the monthly video, was that January is a time to really grow and deepen and heal relationships. Again, remembering that you can integrate all parts of yourself this year and also focus on clearing your space a little bit. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. It was really fun to look at the overall energy for the year, and I like the 4-card spread because it gives you, it's not as much to take in. For those of you that want to see a full 12-month reading, I do offer those on my website, and I'll put a link in the corner so you can check that out. Otherwise, if you would just want to stay in touch and know when I do new videos, the easiest way is to subscribe here, of course, but I also have a newsletter, and I'm really active on my Facebook page as well, so all of those are great ways to stay in touch. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter too. Finally, and most importantly, I just want to say thank you. I said it in December, but now I want to do it with a little bit of hope for the new year. So, we've been taking this journey together, and I think the cool thing is we're using social media to improve our lives, improve our way of thinking, and help one another. So I'm really grateful for the community that we've been able to foster here. And it's a positive use of social media, and I think just cooperation. So thank you for being a part of that. It means a lot. I think that's it for this month. If you ever need to reach out to me again, I'll put links on how to get in touch. And if you want to support this channel, there's also a link at the end of the video. Otherwise, take care of yourselves. Have a very helpful, happy, and prosperous new year. I hope everything that you've been dreaming of comes true. All right, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again next month. Bye-bye.